Good morning, everybody. It's Pastor Tony at Northside with our timeless words and timely wisdom for this week. I want to talk a little bit about some scripture out of Hebrews. Starts in chapter 11 and ends up in chapter 12. But might be a familiar passage to you. It's a passage that says we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, and it's talking about our mothers and fathers in faith throughout history, and how their work was credited by God as righteous work and work for His kingdom and that sort of thing. And it says something very interesting in that passage, and I'm going to talk more about it Sunday. But toward the end of that passage, it says, let's see, let me find it. It says, these were all commended. So there's this big long list in Hebrews of people that were patriarchs or matriarchs of the faith: Abraham, David, etc., Moses. But in this passage, so it gets down to this point, it says these ancient folks were all commended for their faith, yet none of them received what had been promised, since God had planned something better for us, so that only together with us would they be made perfect. So as I read that a couple of days ago, I thought, that's a kind of perspective that a lot of us in the church lose, is the eternal nature of the church. And it is something that pretty much every time I officiated at a funeral, I speak of that the church is eternal. And I say that to you today because I think all of us want to be a part of something important. And through the church, we're a part of something that's probably more important than anything else, and it's the work of God in the world now and eternally. And if you join the church, if you're a part of the church, whether you are a part of the church 4,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago or 2 days ago or 2 weeks from now, we are all members of the church. And this scripture says that only together are we all made perfect. That only by working together to do the work of God, the work of Christ, are we really made perfect. Now, that might be stretching things a little bit. I'm not saying that all we have to do is accept Jesus, okay? But that our work doesn't stop there. When I read this passage, it's to say our work continues, and that, as John Wesley said, we seek a kind of Christian perfection in this life, where we're doing more and more for God and less for ourselves. That also kind of ties in with my sermon from last week as well. So the thing I'd like to tell you and encourage you today is that the world needs more togetherness. And to me, if we do it right, and we don't always, even in the church, but if we do it right, that togetherness is for some greater good. It's for the good of God, and we can all be a part of that. And so I ask you maybe a question is, are you looking for something deeper, something that gives your life deeper meaning? And this passage helps me understand that, along with all of those ancestors, my own ancestors, people I don't even know in the church, we're building something. So often we get focused on what we don't have in the church, but what we do have is the work of all of the saints and people that came before us, and we're doing that work now. And the thing that we leave as we pass on from this life, we leave certain things in the church for the next generations to come. And that's what we're trying to build here at Northside, quite honestly. I say all the time, this is a place where Jesus is easily found. And that's truly what I want us to be, is a place where you can come and easily find a relationship with Jesus that fits with your life and helps you to move to a better life. So there's some words from Hebrews chapter, the book of Hebrews, and really kind of touched me this week, and I wanted to share them with you. And I'll go into a little deeper discussion about that during Sunday's sermon. So there you go. Hope that's something that is meaningful to you today. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope we might see you here this Sunday at Northside. What did I say? Where Jesus is easily found. Have a great week, guys.